Hello, Fishbowl friends, and welcome to the final pre-season episode of He's Always Watching. And in the words of Sabrina Carpenter, would you like a house tour? Because that is exactly what we are doing today. I'm going to give you all my thoughts and impressions and feelings and all sorts of things on the new Big Brother house before we meet its new inhabitants very, very soon. So why don't we just get into it, shall we? Alright, let's start with the garden, which we are beginning to see from the absolute jump that there is a high colour theme this season. They have really leaned into all the patterns, all the feelings, all the everything with this house. Point in case, this wall. This is, look, it's gorgeous, but it's also a lot. There's a lot going on here, and I kind of don't know how I feel. I really do love the yellow tiles. I wish there was more yellow tiles in the bathroom, which we'll talk about later. I think it's really fun. I feel like it's a simple detail, but it's a lovely detail. Is that a seat with like the darker coloured ball in the middle? Is that a seat? I'm so confused. Do you know what this house reminds me of? It kind of makes me think of a pinball machine. I kind of called the eye the pinball eye, and I feel like this is definitely translated to the house. It's a lot. I don't mind it, but I don't know if I could live here. Another shot of the garden. Interesting that pretty much all of the fittings have stayed the same. I do find that quite... obviously it was a cost-saving measure, but yeah, I wish they'd changed at least this main sofa out here a little bit more. It also feels like there's like a giant spot missing after the sofa, like put a giant plant or something there, please, because it doesn't really make much sense. Nor, I must admit, does the faux grass covered steps to the jacuzzi. We are moving inside, however, and here is the dining table. What I find most interesting about this house is all the changes, really, when you boil it back, are very simple, but they're very effective. We've obviously got a dark teal with pops of other colour palette in here. There's a lot of orange going on, a lot of orange. And orange is not one of my favourite colours, so I think I would struggle in this house. I really do love these dining chairs though, I think they're lovely. I'm not so sold on the table. I feel like that eye motif top is going to be horribly scratched by the middle of the series. And it just kind of looks a little cheap. Like it doesn't, I don't know, like it's cool that it's eye shaped, and it is cool that, as Will Best said in his This Morning house tour, there is no head of this table. Nobody is ahead of this table, and I do think that's very interesting. Also interesting, Mr. Best, hello, friend of the pod, that you made reference to it being a almost round table, like a certain other reality show that's starting in a few more weeks. I thought we needed to talk about that. Let's move on to our next image, though. It is the kitchen. This kitchen is a little strange because, first of all, I don't remember the kitchen actually being that spacious in the Celebrity series. So have they moved the island? Again, there's a lot of orange going on here. I kind of wish that the stools weren't orange, just so there was something else. Although I must admit I do like the kind of bullseye motif that is on the top of the kitchen island, kind of leaning into the spiraling effect that we have in the middle of the eye this season. I'm a little confused by this kitchen. As I say, that island, it's a lot on the eyeballs, but I like it. I also particularly love, if you look over in the left-hand corner, the shoot of eyes and the fact there's just an eye perched right there. I also really love that shade of purple. Like, big love of that shade of purple. Let's move to the hallway. Now, as of yet, unless by the time I've recorded this and I do an update without you knowing, we have not seen the diary room. But what is behind that door? That is probably my biggest question with this house. I really love this hallway. Both hallways, actually, the entrance and this hallway are really beautiful. Welcome to the bathroom. That honestly feels like, I don't even know, sunshine on... This amount of yellow kind of makes me speechless. Now look, I love yellow, but this is a lot. And the choice of pattern also seems a little odd. With the striped sofas, the palm motif kind of hiding up the back there. There's a lot of mismatched patterns this season, and look, maybe I'll grow to love it, or maybe it's going to do my absolute head in. Speaking of the bathroom, we have a lovely little close-up of... I'm just going to move my mouse off the screen, my apologies. We have a lovely little close-up of an eyeball. I love that there are eyes all around this house. I think it's such a fun, weird, only Big Brother could do kind of quirky moment for the house. Is it a little self-referential? Yes, but I feel like they're allowed to do that given that it is the 25th anniversary. Moving back out to the main space, because apparently my photos are not in order, but we're going to ignore that. Let's talk about the living room. I like this. I am a little confused by it, and I'll explain why in just a second, but I really love how textured this entire section of the room is, with the triangular sort of shards and then the rounded baseboard under the TV. I also really, really love how they have backlit the mirror and encased the TV. I think it's really fun. It makes this whole space look very fresh. I also really like our new sofas. However, I'm going to be on the fence here and say I kind of miss the ITV sofa. Like, I feel like that two-half sofa, I know everyone was like, oh, what colour are they going to make it this year? And oh, it's so boring. But I feel like it became a staple piece. And sure, these are fine. They make me feel like we've wandered back to 2007 and Big Brother 8. But I don't know, they don't have the gravitational pull for me that the ITV sofa did. The other thing that I'm really confused about with this space is the walls feel so textured and alive, yet the floor giving me nothing. Go on, give us nothing, girl. And that I'm a little confused by. Like, why not have a small step up or step down to the living room? Or, I don't know. Like, it just feels very flat, if that makes sense. I don't know. Now we have another corner of the main space. As you can see, the diary room corridor sticking out there. This is exactly what I mean about the walls feeling like super duper textured and the floors giving us nothing. I really, really love that teacup on the wall. I think it's absolutely deranged and makes almost no sense. Obviously, there was a teacup in the promo, but in terms of doing it in the house, little strange, but I'm here for it. Another eye on the wall, another eye hanging from the ceiling, it looks like. So there is just a lot of chaos going on here. Some sort of, I don't even know what that is on that table. Some sort of vase. that I accidentally for a split second thought was some sort of gummy bear sculpture. Anyway, we're going to move on. Welcome to the bedroom. This might be my favourite space of this whole house. I do worry about those patterns for QC in terms of being on television, but I guess that's not my problem. I find this really calming. Yes, it's bright and kind of almost Alice in Wonderland themed. I think you could kind of give a Mad Hatter's vibe to this entire house. Really, if you want to be honest. But I really like this house so far. And we have one more stop on this tour, and that is the Snug. I don't know how we've ended up back out in the garden, but we're going to ignore that. This is the Snug. A little bit of a tight photo. I don't know whether the two chairs in here really works for me, although I do really love the wood paneling. But I'm just going to suggest it now. I don't know about you, but I feel like this space would be better off as a sauna. I thought it during the Celebrity series, and I stand by it now, that this would be better off as a sauna. But what are you going to do? That is it for your look at the brand new Big Brother house. But remember, we are about to meet our brand new crop of fishbowl friends in under 48 hours, I think, from now. So strap in. We're back to 3 episodes a week. Actually, yes, that's all I'm going to tell you for now. 3 episodes a week that you are not going to want to miss as we unpack every moment of our new friends' journeys inside Britain's most famous house. So, if you have enjoyed my impromptu house tour, you can come and view it and watch my reaction to some of these rooms over on the YouTube channel, which you can find in the show notes, or you can head to our link in bio on Instagram to grab that one. Please, if you're listening to this, give us a 5-star rating, whatever podcasting app you're listening to us on, because it really does help spread the podcast. This house is absolutely bonkers, and I am very curious how it's going to translate on screen. I must be honest, very curious. But I guess we'll find out together, won't we? Thank you for being here. I will see you very soon. In the meantime, remember, Big Brother isn't the only one who's always watching.